This is John. Remind me your name again?
Christopher.
Christopher.
Hi, Christopher. Nice
Hi,
to meet you.
Christopher. I'm the Hollywood Handle. How are you doing today?
Very good, very good.
Very good. So obviously, I gotta ask everyone this: which romance or musical film do you think is your comfort film, or film you'd go to after a huge breakup?
Oh, God. After a huge breakup, I mean, it sounds a little biased, but I think probably this now. This might be my new thing because I feel like it hits all the nerves. You know, and it hits every note. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I just love there's so many sequences. You have this montage, you have this entire musical set near the end of the film. Which sequence in the film do you think really stood out to you when you were editing it in the booth?
There was this one sequence. It's called Monster's Closet. That's where Laura's character sort of ventures into the back of the closet and finds this secret world where Monster lives. That one, I know that they were a little bit worried on set because it's a really small location. But once we put it all together, it had some close-ups and it feels very intimate. And then it kind of it leads to a big blow-up in the relationship, and it's a big turning point in the film. So that one I feel like I'm really excited about and proud of.
Definitely. I just really love that and just all the scenes that you put together, and I really enjoyed the film, so thank you so much for your time. Hi, I'm Christopher with Hollywood Handle. How are you doing tonight?
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. So obviously I gotta ask everyone this, because this is a romance musical film. Which romance or musical film do you think is your comfort film, or film you go to after you experience a huge breakup?
After I experience a huge breakup, I usually, I'm not a big rom-com fan. I dip into my favorite horror films at that moment, so I probably would watch Death Becomes Her or something like The First Wives Club. I'm a big Goldie Hawn fan, so anything that would make me laugh, I think I would watch at that moment.
Definitely. And I also love so many sequences. You have the montage with Laura, you have this huge musical sequence near the end. So what sort of films helped inspire those sequences and those montages for you when you were editing that?
Well, I was lucky. I had just finished I Want to Dance with Somebody, the Whitney Houston movie, right before I started this. So I was already in that kind of musical performance mode when it came to cutting, so I was fresh off of it, and it was really easy to jump into a musical number on a stage because I had just cut so many of those sequences for the Whitney Houston film.
Definitely. And was there any heartbreaking sequence that when you edited it just made you want to cry and sob? Was there any sequence like that was really sad for you when you were editing it?
It's so simple. There's a scene, it's a minute long maybe, where Laura is putting out her Halloween costume the night before she goes, and she comes down the stairs and she looks beautiful. The scene where she's putting out the costume and laying it out on her bed, I told Kayla Foster when we were cutting it, I was like, this is really making me cry. And she was like, why? I was like, I don't know. Whenever women try in a movie, it makes me cry. I'm just because she's trying so hard. She's going to do the safe thing, and she decides to do the thing she actually really wants to do and wear that Frankenstein costume. And I'm like, I love that. It made me cry.
Yeah, all those sequences, all those scenes were so well put together. So thank you so much for your time, and really hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Okay. Hi, Kayla. I'm Christopher Gallardo with Hollywood Handle. How are you doing tonight? It's so nice to meet you. So obviously I got to ask everyone this because this is a romance musical film. Which romance or musical film do you think is your comfort film, or the film you go to after a huge breakup?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I love Grease. That one reminds me of being a little kid. Romance, God, there's a million. But I'm going to say When Harry Met Sally.
Ooh, that's a really good film. So obviously also about this movie, what can you tell us about who Maisie is and how she's connected to this larger world and Laura and the monster's relationship?
Maisie is Laura's childhood best friend. She's loud, she's brash, she's big, she's wild, but she's also in a lot of pain that she has to navigate and sort of unravels in a unique way throughout the movie.
Definitely. And speaking about that unraveling, because I've already seen the film way before all of this, Maisie really takes on this transformation that sort of really shows her true colors. What was it like to explore that dynamic with Melissa?
I loved working with Melissa so much. The cool thing about this is that I'm also a producer on the film, and our characters are supposed to be friends for so many years. Sometimes when you work on something as an actor, you get kind of like thrown in and you don't get to know your scene partner as well as I got to know Melissa as a producer. So it felt like our dynamic became second nature and we got to play around and have fun as if we were best friends.
Definitely. I love that dynamic you guys share. And speaking about that relationship furthermore, it also really feels like she's the antithesis of the final girl's companion, where she tries to help the protagonist's situation, but really doesn't give it her all. How do you think your performance as Maisie and her overall character twists that stereotype in a way that feels realistic?
I guess for me, Maisie feels like the kind of friend that when she's there, she's so present, and then she disappears. It almost makes it worse that she's disappearing because you're like, that's my ride or die. I really have someone in the world that has my back. Oh, sorry, bye. And that feels almost more painful than having no one. So I wanted to it's the kind of like push and pull of that helps Melissa kind of be in her place of sorrow and sadness.
Definitely. But your dynamic overall was just really special to see develop, and I really hope you enjoyed tonight. Thank you so much for your time. Hope you have a wonderful night. So nice to meet you. And I'm Chris with Hollywood Handle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. So obviously I got to ask everyone this because this is sort of a romance musical film. So which romance or musical film do you think is your comfort film or film you go to after you experience like a huge breakup?
Oh, man. I was asked this earlier today. I think that my favorite rom-com, which would count as a romance film, is 10 Things I Hate About You. My sister was obsessed with Heath Ledger when we were young, may he rest in peace, and she had the poster on her wall. So it's sort of like ingrained in my mind, that movie, and the poster.
Yeah, I really got to check that out. But also,
you've never seen it?
I think, how long is it? How long did it come out ago? Like, how many years?
I want to say it came out in like 99 or 2000, maybe 98.
Oh, that came out way before my time.
Man,
Oh,
I'm old.
yeah, but honestly, I think it might be a really good film, but obviously we're here because of this movie and your character, Jacob. And speaking about Jacob, he isn't necessarily a character we're rooting for, as he's also sort of done like a little bit of wrong. What moment between Laura and Jacob do you think really allows us to understand both of their perspectives?
The scene, if this isn't giving anything away, the scene in the office where they argue about the fight they had on stage during rehearsal. Yeah.
Definitely. I saw that and it was like...
Just like crystallized their arguments both are, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like crazy how they sort of got into each other after they had like that huge like... I won't give anything away, but obviously... Also, the character of Jacob really feels like he's sort of this modern-day Gaston who vies for his work, yet he still has this soft spot for Laura. What do you think audiences can take away about Jacob... Oh, sorry. About Jacob and those like him?
That they're ambitious, that the only thing they think about is their work, and that they're too career-oriented and they need to have hobbies and think about other people other than themselves.
Definitely. And as someone who's been in many plays and plays on and off Broadway, how do you think Jacob encompasses those challenges of finding direction and organization in the midst of like everything he's going through in this film?
Direction, how do you mean direction, like in his life?
In his life, in his relationships, all of that.
Oh man, I guess he doesn't have any direction in his life other than this production. You know, like I said, he's such a careerist. Everything is about this play. So he lets go of his girlfriend for it because he doesn't think he's able to give enough time to it. So the only direction he has is this play, and then when it goes wrong, he has nothing left.
Definitely.
You know, when it all falls apart.
Yeah. And
that's a real spoiler. Cut that out.
Oh, when it falls apart, it just like goes crazy with that whole thing. But obviously, you play a really great role in this, and I really love your role. Thank you so much for your wonderful time. I hope you have a great night.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Melissa. I'm Christopher Gallardo. How are you doing tonight?
Good for you.
I'm doing good. You look really, really good, by the way. I love the outfit you got on. But obviously, I have to ask this for everyone because this is sort of a romance musical film. Which romance or musical film do you think is your comfort film or film you go to after like a huge breakup?
Oh my God, I have so many like rom-coms that I love. When Harry Met Sally is one. My Best Friend's Wedding, Notting Hill, The Proposal, The Notebook, when I want to cry, The Notebook.
Oh, definitely. I really love that movie. And also, I really love the emphasis you put in giving Laura that independence. And there are definitely a handful of scenes that really capture that. What do you think is one defining scene for you that really made you fully recognize that about her?
That independence.
Yeah.
When she finally stands up to Jacob, that's like one of my favorite moments.
Especially with that like huge musical number. Oh, that is just so good. And I really also love how Laura is essentially the anti-Belle in this Beauty and the Beast kind of story. What do you think about her character and her divisiveness can tell about those who are going through like similar circumstances?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people go through what Laura goes through, and everybody could use a monster to help them get out of the rut, but we just gotta like get in touch with our anger and let that kind of fuel us and rebuild us. And I think that this movie is all about that. It's about finding your voice again, finding your value, and embracing all the messy and ugly parts of ourselves that we normally hide, and just bringing them out to the surface.
Definitely. I love that emotional aspect about the movie. And speaking about the emotional aspect of the musical part of the movie, this is also the first time you helped develop a song instead of just like performing it in the Heights. What do you think was the most hardest and most important aspect about making My Stranger really iconic?
I mean, I had nothing to do with the development of the song. That was all the Lazors, who are the composers, and Caroline working together. I just came in and told them, like, guys, that song is too hard for me to sing. Make it easier. But they did a brilliant job of making that song, because it's within the musical of the movie. So it's a character singing it. It's not Laura, it's Laurie Francis, but it also fits perfectly with Laura's arc in the movie. So I think the Lazors did a brilliant job in just making that fit for the perfect finale of the movie.
Oh yeah, I love the creative aspect of everything. And speaking about the creative part of horror, there's been like a huge resurgence of indie films. Like you have Longlegs, you have I Saw the TV Glow. Are there any indie filmmakers that you really want to work with in the future after this film?
So many. I'm trying to think, what was the last movie that I saw that I was blown away by that I would love to. I mean, I really want to work with a director named Ali Abbasi. He did a movie called Border that I am obsessed with. Also, the director of Apartment 7A that just came out with Julia Gardner. Before that, she did a movie called Relic, I believe, that was brilliant. And I just would love to continue to work with like female directors.
Definitely. And obviously I have to ask this question because I know it's in development and I know you can't say much, but I know about the one and Nicholas Hoult. Is there anything you can like sort of tease ahead?
I'm not doing that movie anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I really hope that your return to horror will just continue to like go up there because you're just like so good in this film. Really, thank you so much. Cheers. Sorry. Hi, Tommy. I'm Christopher Gallardo with Hollywood Hannah. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Oh, I'm doing okay. So obviously, because this is a romance and musical film, what romance or musical film do you think is your comfort film or the film you go to after like a huge breakup?
Oh, that's a great question, and it's been a testament to my strong marriage that I haven't gone through a breakup in a very long time. My comfort film is if it's comfort, I don't want, after a breakup, I don't want to see anything romantic. So I'm looking for like The Bourne Identity, I'm looking for Armageddon, just some high octane, like take me out of this universe kind of thing. But in terms of romantic movies, well, Past Lives recently was just mind-blowingly romantic, I thought. One of my favorite movies of all time. The Princess Bride is a movie I return to because it's kind of a genre mashup, a lot like Your Monster. Different genres, but with that core romance that I think sustains the movie. Yeah, that's my short list.
Definitely. Past Life was like so good,
yeah.
And I just really love that. And Your Monster is actually the first time, both the short and the film, that you've embodied such an unusual character. What traits about the monster truly drew you into playing him originally in the short?
I like that, first of all, it's just fun to put on the monster gear and the prosthetic. It's an incredible prosthetic. It like moved with my face so incredibly, designed by this guy, Dave Anderson. But then my favorite part about playing him was he's not monstrous. He can be snarky and cranky and funny and romantic and all that stuff. So I like that. I like this. I wasn't stuck with any kind of monster trope. You could play ironically, you could play a full human. He just happened to look like he looked.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see that in his attitude throughout the film.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time you really play the monster since you played him in the original short. Do you think you've learned more about the monster and his depth this time around?
Oh wait, ask that question again.
Do you think you've learned more about the monster and the sort of depth in his personality this time around?
Yes. For sure. I mean, part of that is just a function of time, but I think that the difference between the two is the short monster was more of a friendly mentor, and I think the big jump we made as we expanded it, made it more cinematic for a feature film, was that romance part. That, you know, seeing monster fall for someone and vice versa was to me the biggest shift between the two, and I can't wait for folks to see it.
Definitely. I can't wait for everyone to see it either. And for a little bit fun question, if you had a monster, do you think you'd see it as an angel or a demon in your eyes?
I think an angel. I mean, I think something about him being a monster, at least as it pertains to this movie, is he has license to say anything. You know, he is by some definitions ugly himself, and he's not afraid to tell you the ugly truth about what you're going through and what you need to do. So, like, I feel like a monster is better suited for tough love than an angel, maybe. So I'm voting monster on that one.
Definitely. And obviously, because you are wearing such a huge monster prosthetic throughout the film, I gotta ask this. How do you think, what is your favorite moment on set that you wore, that when you were wearing the monster prosthetic, it just made you go, whoa, it just made you like really in shock that you were just like wearing this entire thing on for like the entire movie?
Well, there's a sex scene in the movie, and wearing all that and doing that scene is just kind of an out-of-body experience.
Oh,
that's the most obvious answer, I think.
Oh yeah, I think when I saw that, it just made me go like, whoa, what is really happening right now?
I became very aware of the monster in that moment.
Oh yeah, and I just love your performance. I love the monster, and I just love this entire film. Thank you so much, Tommy, for your time. Really hope you have a wonderful night.